If you are over 60, avoid eating these 7 fruits for breakfast. They are killing your erections. Health Aura. Know it right, live it light. What if the fruit you've been eating every morning, thinking it's healthy, is actually the reason your energy is down and your performance is slipping? It sounds shocking, but for men over 60, certain healthy fruits could be quietly harming blood flow, testosterone levels, and yes, your ability to perform. In this video, I'll reveal 7 fruits you should avoid at breakfast if you want to protect your erections, energy, and confidence. Most men have no idea about number 5. It's in almost every kitchen. This isn't about fear, it's about facts, real science, made simple. Ready to know the truth about your plate and take back control of how you age? Welcome to Health Aura. Know it right, live it light. Let's begin. 1. The hidden erection killer sitting on your counter. Why older men should rethink bananas. If you're a man over 60 and determined to reclaim strong, dependable erections, there's one fruit you might want to reconsider, especially if it's sitting right on your kitchen counter. It's convenient, widely considered healthy, and probably part of your morning routine. But despite the common belief that it's a nutritious breakfast choice, bananas, especially when they're overripe, could be quietly sabotaging your sexual health. For years, like many others, I thought bananas were the ideal way to start the day. Fast, full of potassium, and seemingly the poster fruit for healthy living. But what most men don't realize is that the riper the banana, the higher its sugar content. When bananas become soft, sweet, and spotted, their starches have broken down into simple sugars that hit your bloodstream almost immediately. Starting your morning with a ripe banana, especially on an empty stomach, causes a rapid spike in blood sugar, and with it, a surge in insulin levels. This matters more than you might think. As men age, the body becomes more sensitive to insulin's effects, and unfortunately, insulin acts like a hormonal bully. It suppresses testosterone, reduces nitric oxide production, which is crucial for blood vessel dilation, and increases inflammation in the very blood vessels that support erectile function. The result? Your morning banana may be doing more harm to your manhood than you ever imagined. The worst part is how quietly the damage sets in. There's no dramatic warning sign, just a gradual fading. Maybe you stop waking up with morning wood. Maybe things don't work quite the way they used to. Before long, you chalk it up to aging. But it might not be aging at all. It could be your breakfast. That doesn't mean you need to swear off bananas entirely. If you're truly fond of them, timing and pairing are key. Never eat a banana on its own or first thing in the morning. Instead, have it later in the day, and always combine it with a source of protein or healthy fat, like a handful of nuts or a spoonful of nut butter. This slows the release of sugar into your bloodstream and reduces the insulin spike that can throw your hormones into disarray. Bottom line, for older men focused on reviving their sexual vitality, being smart about even seemingly harmless fruits like bananas can make a big difference. It's not just about what you eat. It's about how, when, and with what you eat it. The hidden truth about grapes. A sweet snack that could be sapping your manhood. For years, we've been told that fruits are one of the healthiest food groups. Bright, sweet, and full of vitamins. What's not to love? But what if one of your favorite fruits, those juicy little grapes, were doing more harm than good? especially when it comes to your performance as a man. If you thought bananas were questionable, just wait until you hear about this seemingly innocent fruit that might be silently sabotaging your vitality. It's small, sweet, and easy to snack on. But it's also one of the biggest offenders when it comes to silently draining the blood flow crucial for male function. Let's talk about grapes. Like many men, I used to grab a handful of grapes straight from the fridge without a second thought. It felt like a smart choice. Light, natural, and refreshing. But what I later discovered, both as a health professional and as a man now in his 60s, made me completely rethink this habit. Grapes are packed with natural sugars, far more than they seem to carry given their small size. Because they're mostly water and sugar, they digest incredibly fast. That's the problem. When consumed on an empty stomach, especially in the morning, they cause a rapid spike in blood sugar levels. Your body reacts to that spike by releasing a flood of insulin to bring things back into balance. But here's what most men don't realize. Repeated insulin surges over time don't just mess with your energy. They also suppress testosterone levels and constrict the blood vessels that support your erections. The result? A slow, steady decline in your sexual performance. It doesn't happen overnight, but day after day, the body reacts to those sugar spikes in ways that chip away at your confidence, sensitivity, and physical response. Eventually, you might notice those once reliable signals just aren't as strong anymore. You might wake up wondering why things feel flat. And the culprit? It could be hiding in your fruit bowl. If you enjoy grapes, you don't have to give them up completely. But timing is everything. Never eat grapes first thing in the morning when your stomach is empty and your blood sugar is at its most sensitive. Instead, enjoy them later in the day, ideally after a meal rich in protein and healthy fats. That way, your body's glucose response is more balanced, and you can enjoy the sweetness without risking your long-term performance. Your health, your strength, and your vitality are in your hands. Sometimes, the smallest changes, like when you eat certain fruits, can make the biggest difference. 3. The morning mistake that could be stealing your vitality. Why your breakfast drink may be quietly undermining your manhood. Imagine this: the soft glow of morning light, the promise of a new day, and in your hand, a familiar glass of golden orange liquid. It feels like the right choice, refreshing, fruity, vibrant. You've been told it's healthy. But what if I told you that this one simple habit might be silently sabotaging your energy, your hormones, and your performance as a man? You see, millions of men begin their day with a glass of orange juice, believing it's a symbol of wellness, loaded with vitamin C and sunshine. But in truth, it may be one of the most misleading morning rituals we've ever adopted. Orange juice isn't the fruit itself. It's not the fiber-packed, slow-digesting orange nature intended. It's sugar, highly concentrated, fast-acting sugar. One seemingly innocent glass contains as much sugar as a can of soda, sometimes more. But the real danger lies in when and how you drink it. Consumed on an empty stomach, orange juice floods your bloodstream. There's no fiber, fat, or protein to buffer the impact. This triggers a rapid spike in blood sugar, which sets off an insulin surge, a powerful hormonal wave that does more than manage sugar. That insulin spike also dampens your testosterone levels and constricts blood vessels throughout your body. including the delicate ones responsible for healthy erectile function. Over time, what felt like a healthy morning habit becomes a silent thief. The energy crash mid-morning, the low motivation, the fading sexual vitality you may have attributed to just getting older, they may all trace back to that one glass of orange juice. Testosterone, the cornerstone of male vitality, thrives in a low insulin environment. But when insulin is constantly elevated, especially first thing in the morning, it creates a hormonal climate hostile to masculinity. It chips away at strength, stamina, and arousal. But here's the shift. Awareness is power. If you love citrus, choose the whole fruit. A peeled orange offers not just vitamins, but fiber, which slows sugar absorption and supports gut health. Better yet, begin your morning with water to rehydrate your system, followed by a protein-rich meal to stabilize your blood sugar and protect your hormone levels. Save fruit for later in the day, when your body is better prepared to metabolize it. Your mornings shape your day and your future. Don't let a so-called healthy habit quietly erode your strength. Reclaim your mornings, and you may be surprised by how much energy, drive, and masculine confidence returns. The sweet treat that could be quietly draining your drive. Let's be real. Mangoes are one of those fruits that almost everyone loves. They're soft, juicy, and bursting with flavor. For me, they've always brought back warm memories of summer, whether it was slicing one open on a sunny morning or adding it to a smoothie, thinking I was making a healthy choice. But as I've learned, the hard way, just because something is natural doesn't always mean it's helping you, especially when it comes to your energy, your hormones, and yes, your performance as a man. You see, mangoes are packed with a type of sugar called fructose. On the surface, that might not sound too bad. It's fruit sugar, right? But here's the thing most men don't know. Fructose doesn't go straight into your bloodstream like other sugars. Instead, it gets processed in your liver. And that's where the problem starts, especially as we get older. As men age, our bodies become less efficient at handling sugar. That means the fructose from that sweet mango you're enjoying could be putting extra strain on your liver. Over time, this can lead to something called fatty liver, which is more common than people think, and it's directly linked to lower testosterone levels. And when testosterone starts to dip, everything from energy and mood to libido and erection strength can take a hit. It gets worse if you eat mangoes on an empty stomach in the morning. Why? Because all that sugar floods your system fast, leading to a sharp rise and then crash in blood sugar. That roller coaster effect makes you feel tired, hungry, and craving even more sugar later in the day. It's a cycle that's hard to notice until it's already doing damage. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to give up mangoes forever, but the key is knowing when and how to enjoy them. I'll share the best way to do that in a moment. But first, if mangoes surprised you, wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's exotic, trendy, and found in everything from bowls to juices, but it may be the sneakiest testosterone saboteur yet. Let's keep going. 5. The Tropical Trap. How pineapple may be silently undermining male vitality. Pineapple, bright, juicy, and bursting with tropical charm, has long been considered a symbol of health and vitality. It's often praised for its rich supply of vitamins, enzymes like bromelain, and its supposed digestive benefits. Many men, especially those over 60, enjoy it regularly, believing it supports their health and energy. But beneath its refreshing sweetness lies a little-known concern. Pineapple could actually be quietly sabotaging male sexual performance, particularly when consumed at the wrong time. While it looks like one of nature's healthiest offerings, pineapple is surprisingly high in natural sugars. A single cup can contain over 16 grams of sugar, but with very little fiber to slow down absorption. When this fruit is eaten alone, especially first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, it rapidly elevates blood sugar levels. This sudden spike prompts a surge of insulin, which can throw your body's hormonal balance off course. More importantly, it can reduce the production of nitric oxide, a crucial compound that helps dilate blood vessels and support strong, sustained erections. As men age, their sensitivity to sugar becomes more pronounced. The body doesn't regulate glucose and insulin as efficiently, which means the impact of high-sugar foods becomes more intense and more damaging over time. The result is a subtle, creeping erosion of sexual health. You may not notice the effects right away, but over time you might experience a reduced morning response, less spontaneous desire, and weaker performance, all without realizing a tropical fruit might be playing a part. The solution isn't necessarily to eliminate pineapple from your diet completely. Instead, consider how and when you eat it. Consuming pineapple after a balanced meal, such as lunch or dinner, can blunt the sugar spike and minimize its negative effects. Pairing it with protein, fiber, or healthy fats further slows digestion and helps keep blood sugar stable. But as a breakfast staple or a solo snack, especially on an empty stomach, it's best avoided if you're aiming to protect your hormonal health and maintain your vitality as you age. The lesson here is simple. Not all healthy foods are helpful at all times. Pineapple may look like a clean, wholesome choice, but for older men, timing and context are everything. Make smart choices, and your body will thank you in more ways than one. 6. The hidden dangers of dried fruit for men over 60. Dried fruits like raisins, dates, and apricots have long been considered a smart, nutritious snack. They're small, convenient, and often marketed as natural sources of fiber and essential vitamins. For years, I believed that tossing a handful into my oatmeal or snacking on them with a cup of coffee was a step in the right direction for my health. But as both a physician and a man navigating the changes that come with age, I've come to see these so-called healthy treats in a different light, one that might surprise you. What many don't realize is that dried fruit is essentially sugar in a compact form. When the moisture is removed during the drying process, what remains is a dense concentration of fructose with significantly less fiber than its fresh counterpart. This makes it much easier for your body to absorb the sugars rapidly, leading to blood sugar spikes, not unlike those caused by eating candy. And for men over the age of 60, that quick hit of sugar can quietly set off a chain of negative effects, ones that you might not notice immediately, but which can impact your well-being in subtle and serious ways. When consumed on an empty stomach, especially in the morning, dried fruits can trigger a sharp insulin response. This spike not only raises inflammation throughout the body, but can also interfere with hormone regulation. One critical hormone that often takes a hit is testosterone, which plays a vital role in everything from energy levels to libido to muscle maintenance. Reduced testosterone, coupled with increased inflammation and poor blood circulation, can quietly contribute to issues like fatigue, reduced sexual performance, and even heart-related concerns over time. Despite their sweet and innocent appearance, dried fruits are deceptively potent. The problem isn't just the sugar, they're also easy to overeat. Unlike fresh fruit, which fills you up with water and fiber, dried versions are calorie-dense and less satisfying, making it more likely you'll consume too much in one sitting. For men in their 60s and beyond, this kind of dietary habit can undermine efforts to maintain stable energy, hormone balance, and metabolic health. If you still enjoy dried fruit, there's no need to eliminate it entirely, but it's crucial to be smart about when and how you eat it. Instead of reaching for a handful as a quick breakfast or solo snack, pair it with a meal rich in protein and healthy fats. Doing so will help blunt the sugar rush and allow your body to process it more gradually, minimizing the potential downsides. In this stage of life, even small dietary adjustments can make a big difference. I know all of this might feel a little overwhelming, especially if some of these foods have been part of your daily routine for years. Believe me, I get it. I was in that same place for most of my adult life. I truly believed I was eating clean. I thought I was making the right choices. I had no idea that what I was putting on my breakfast plate each morning was quietly draining my energy, my drive, and honestly, my ability to respond the way I used to. At first, it didn't seem obvious. I just felt a little more tired, a little less focused. My stamina was slipping, my edge wasn't what it used to be, and eventually, I chalked it up to age. I figured, this is just what getting older feels like. But then, I started noticing a pattern, not just in myself, but in patient after patient. Men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, all struggling with the same slow decline, the same quiet frustrations, and once I connected the dots, the truth became impossible to ignore. Some of these so-called healthy fruits, especially when eaten first thing in the morning, were doing real damage. They were spiking blood sugar, disrupting hormone balance, and slowly chipping away at erection quality. One sugar hit at a time. Not with loud warning signs, but with subtle, daily losses. But here's the good news. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. You just need to start. So tomorrow morning, clear your breakfast plate of the 7 fruits we've already covered. Instead, replace them with foods that stabilize your blood sugar and support blood flow. Things like whole eggs, avocado, a small handful of berries, plain Greek yogurt with no added sugar. Skip the juice. Go for water instead. And most importantly, listen to your body, because it will respond. And you might be surprised by how fast it happens. You might even wake up one morning soon and feel something you haven't felt in a long time, yourself, fully energized, focused, and in control again. And if you're wondering which specific fruits actually boost erection strength and naturally fuel your performance, don't go anywhere, because in the next section, I'm going to show you the exact ones that can help you reclaim the kind of strength most men think they've lost forever. By now, you've likely realized that true health isn't just about lab results or generic advice. It's about how you feel when you wake up each morning, energized, confident, and fully yourself. Those seemingly innocent fruits like bananas, grapes, mangoes, pineapple, and orange juice can quietly drain your vitality after 60. But here's the good news. You have the power to change that. Every smart choice you make, Every morning you say no to sugar and yes to real nourishment is a step toward reclaiming your strength. You're not weak. You've just been misinformed. And now you know better. Let this be the start of something real. Because age isn't your enemy. It's a reminder that now is the perfect time to take control. So tomorrow morning, begin again. For your energy. For your health. For you.